afternoon, fans, and welcome to St. Augustine, Florida. I'm Kyle McCarthy. I'm taking you live here at Clark Family Court in Flagler Gymnasium. We're getting set for this matchup between your Flagler Saints and, on the other side, the Jaguars of Augusta. We had a beautiful rendition of our national anthem from Jonathan Koppelman from the theater department. He is a standout in his field. Some standouts on both sides of the court today. The starters, first for Augusta, we're going to be saying Riley Harris' name a lot today. Julia Rodriguez, Michaela Klein, Jada Sukadaraga, Madeline Eden, Maren Freeland, and rounding it out, Janvier Buggs. On the other side for the Saints, a lot of the same here. It's going to be Fitzpatrick, that's Amelia Fitzpatrick, followed by Lexi Bassler, of course, the libero, Colby Stemkowski, Molly Boyd, of course, Jordan Berglund and Claire Sheedy, and rounding it out for the Saints, Cassidy Bloom. Augusta comes into play 11-3. They have been red hot, but they are gettable on the road, just 2-2 in their away matches. Flagler coming off the win against Georgia College. They've won in 4 sets, improving their record to 6-9 on the season, 2-2 in the conference. These two teams have played many times before, very familiar with each other. Flagler leads the all-time series at 23-15. However, Augusta's won 4 straight, including a sweep last year of 3-0. So we are just about ready to go here. It'll be Janvier Buggs on the first serve for the Jaguars, and we are off. Claire Sheedy to Molly Boyd played nicely. They're going to say violation on the first play, and it's an early Saints point. So we're going to be saying that those two names a lot today, Claire Sheedy and Molly Boyd. Sheedy coming into play leads the Peach Belt in assists, coming in with a whopping 533. And Molly Boyd with the finish. Molly Boyd, she got a huge ovation from the crowd, a bit of a fan favorite around these parts, the senior from Chicago, Illinois. Boyd second on the team in kills, has 144 coming into play here. Here's Fitzpatrick, the second serve on her day. Dug out nicely by Bloom. Sheedy setting it up for Berglund, hits it into the net. And there's the first Jaguars point of the day. Yeah, we mentioned Augusta's record 11-3. Oddly enough, third in the Peach Belt. It's been a very competitive conference to start play here with Aiken and Lander ahead of them. As that shot goes out of bounds, another point to Augusta. This time it'll be Michaela Klein on the serve for the Jaguars. And Klein hits it into the net, the first serving error of the day. Fortunate for the Saints, they retake the lead at 3-2. Now some players to watch for the Jaguars. Offensively, we're going to be saying Maren Freeland's name a lot, leads the team in kills, as well as Sophia Krushko, second on the team with 117 kills, as that shot by Buggs goes into the stands. Janvier Buggs, will say her name a lot as well. 299 assists leading the way for the Jaguars. Mia Saavedra at 183. She is second on the team. And that one, another misplay there by Buggs. And the Saints going on a nice little run here. They're up by 3, now 5-2. Here's Jordan Berglund, the leading scorer for the Saints on the year. And that one into the net, the first serving error for the Saints. So both teams early on here have hit one into the net. And we'll see Julia Rodriguez on the serve for the Jaguars, the libero for their squad. She's a graduate student from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. formerly of UNC Asheville. As Berglund's shot deflects out of bounds. And there's a point for the Jaguars. Yeah, the Saints had a little bit of a losing skid. They lost 3 straight, but yesterday here at home they were able to take down Georgia College. It's always nice to get back in the win column. Let's see if they can pull off what would be an upset. Berglund reads that one beautifully and lets it go out of bounds. And the Saints lead is back up to 2. See Ella Wicker checking into the game for the Saints, the sophomore from Woodstock, Illinois. Played over, this one's blocked. Well done by Stemkowski. She was ready for it anyways. Well done by Colby Stemkowski. We say it all the time, but Stemkowski and Boyd up front, that is tough for the opposition. And Stemkowski just shows you there. Played over this one into the net, blocked by Stemkowski again, played nicely by Rodriguez. Bugs setting it up, beautiful finish there by Michaela Klein. And that point will go to the Jaguars. Yeah, for all you local Jacksonville people, we're not talking about your Jaguars. This is a different Jaguars. Your Jaguars will be on tomorrow morning. Hope there's no confusion out there. Here's the serve from Mara Zenner. Sheedy sets it up for Stemkowski. Played brilliantly by Zenner. Fitzpatrick was ready for it. Berglund with a phenomenal kill right on the back line. Set up nicely by Fitzpatrick. The Saints off to a great start here, up 8-5. Here's Sheedy. That one's blocked, sent backward. Rodriguez playing it forward. It's blocked again by Stemkowski. Boy, she is everywhere. And that shot by Witherspoon out of bounds on the near side. Another point for the Saints. Coming into play, Sheedy and Bassler lead the Saints in aces. And that one hits off of Witherspoon out of bounds. Witherspoon knew it the minute she hit it. She is typically one of the top players for the Jaguars. And as expected, Coach Quarles calls timeout for the Jags, so we'll take our first break. Before we let you go, I want to thank some of our sponsors. Hey, how about 5-Star Pizza? Bigger, better, faster, 5-Star Pizza. Also, St. Augustine and St. Johns County Airport. Hey, as someone who's used the services of St. Johns County Airport, very safe traveling, great runway, but the staff is just fantastic at St. Johns County Airport. We'll be back in a second, folks. Don't go anywhere. More of the first set coming up next. Out of the timeout here, if you're just late joining us, the Saints are up 10-5 over the Augusta Jaguars. Claire Sheedy with another serve. This one dug out by Klein. Played by Krushko over the net. Here's Sheedy, sets it up for Stemkowski. Brilliant play by Rodriguez as Krushko is going to send it over. Fitzpatrick deflected, played by Rodriguez. And that one blocked again by Stemkowski. Boy, she is everywhere. And another misplay by Augusta. They seem out of sync, which is rare for a team of their caliber. If you're the Saints, you have to take advantage because you know the Jaguars can easily correct things and go on a run. And there it is. Beautiful finish by Jada Sugutaraga. One of the best names in the Peach Belt right there. So Augusta back on the offensive. It's Riley Harris on the serve. Dug out by Bloom. Here's Sheedy. Setting it up for Fitzpatrick. Softly sends it over. Easy play for Michaela Klein. This time Bassler setting it up. Blocked. Bassler with a nice play. And Berglund able to set it up for Bloom. Just able to get it over. Played by Riley Harris. And we have a nice back and forth here between these two teams. Fitzpatrick with the finish. Off the assist from Bassler. And the normal names we say for the most part are Boyd, Berglund, Claire Sheedy, but we're saying a lot of Colby Stemkowski and Amelia Fitzpatrick today. They have been fantastic to start out. Here's Klein. Oh, brilliant play by Bloom. Able to get one hand on it, but deflects it out of bounds. And that was a nice finish for Michaela Klein, the outside hitter from Evans, Georgia. So it's Jada Sugutaraga on the serve. Here's Stemkowski. Setting it up for Berglund. Dug out nicely by Harris. Klein pushes it over. That was a brilliant play just in the corner on the far side. The Jaguars chipping away at that deficit. It's now 12-8. The Saints in front. Sugutaraga again. Sheedy sets it up for Stemkowski. Blocked! Just lands in between Stemkowski, Fitzpatrick, and Sheedy. Now the Jags going on a bit of a run here. Played by Bloom. Here's Sheedy. Berglund off the fingers of Mara Zenner. That one was coming in hot. And another finish for the Jaguars right at the feet of Claire Sheedy. It's now 12-10. Sheedy setting it up for Fitzpatrick on the no-look feed. Bassler setting it up for Berglund. Sugutaraga gets it over. Here's Bassler. Setting up Fitzpatrick. It deflects off the Jaguars and out of bounds into the Augusta bench. And that's a much-needed Saints point. Even though they're up, you saw the Jags starting to get hot. Fitzpatrick stops the bleeding there. Back to a 3-point lead. Lexi Bassler fires one across. Here's Klein sending it over, played nicely by Bloom. Fitzpatrick sends it over softly, well played by Klein on the far side. Sheedy setting up Berglund, it deflects off the hands of Harris. Somehow Rodriguez is able to play it and send it over, and Molly Boyd. What can't Molly Boyd do defensively, offensively? The lead is back to 4. Bassler sends it right into the net. And a huge break for Augusta. We see Bugs and Freeland check back in for the Jaguars. Haven't said Freeland's name a lot today so far. I'm sure that'll change very quickly. Jean-Vier Bugs, a graduate student from Smyrna, Tennessee, formerly of Austin P. We love the Atlantic Sun around these parts as that shot from Fitzpatrick is deflected out of bounds. They're trading points here And it will be Fitzpatrick on the serve. Played easily by Harris. Here's Buggs setting it up for Klein. Sheedy, Berglund. Very well deflected there by Freeland. Freeland again. Nice play by Lexi Bassler, going up and getting it. Freeland again, this time deflects off Jordan Berglund. And that point was a heavy dose of Marin Freeland. Like we said, we didn't say her name a lot early on, but that will change as the game goes on. And you just saw it there, how dominant she can be on the front lines. So it's Michaela Klein on the serve for the Jaguars. Sheedy setting it up for Boyd. Just barely blocked and back into the Saints zone. Berglund. Freeland again, easy play for Fitzpatrick. Setting up Boyd, and Molly Boyd once again off the assist from who else? Claire Sheedy. As we said, Flagler, you would think, is the underdog in this matchup just based on records. You would not be able to tell from the way this first set has gone. Berglund serve dug out by Rodriguez. Freeland sending it over. Easy play for Jordan. Cassidy Bloom blocked. It looks like it was out of bounds. They're going to say it was. Cassidy Bloom had a lot of spin on that one. And the Jaguars are going to take another timeout. Coach Quarles trying to spark anything for her girls. Before we take a break, I want to thank a few more of our sponsors. Hey, the Noah Bailey Group. Insurance, benefits, financial services. Shout out to the Bailey Group. Then how about Pink Stork? We love Pink Stork. We'll take a break. Be back in just a second, folks. Don't go anywhere. All right, so a quick timeout here in the first set. If you're just joining us, Saints out to an early lead of 17-12. It'll be Jordan Berglund on the serve for the Saints. Berglund has been everywhere so far, but the real story has been Amelia Fitzpatrick and also Molly Boyd. And we have to shout out the job Colby Stemkowski's done up front as Marin Freeland finishes that one in the middle of the Saints defense. So a good timeout call there by Coach Sharon Quarles. She knows what she's doing. In her 16th year, a Florida Gator graduate. Hey, it's homecoming for the Gators. Here's Berglund. Sheedy setting it up for Bloom. Oh, nice play by Bloom, but even better defense by Lane. And that one off the face of Rodriguez. My goodness. That was a powerful finish there, and the Saints lead is back to 5. Here's Ella Wicker. 8 aces on the season. Wouldn't it be nice to get another one? Freeland trying to finish there off the hands of Wicker. Boy, Freeland's so powerful when she gets in motion. As Lexi Bassler checks back in for the Saints. On the other side, we see Mara Zenner checking in all the way from Newton, Kansas. Happy to have her in St. Augustine. I have a feeling she's not in Kansas anymore. Zenner's serve just out of bounds. Well played by Jordan Berglund, ducking out of the way. And you can say it about a lot of the Saints, but especially Berglund, such a smart player, no matter what she's asked to do, defensively or offensively. Here's Sheedy. They're sent it up for Krushko, deflected off the hands of Stemkowski. Bassler setting up Bloom. Dug out brilliantly by Klein. And that one stays on the Jaguars' side. That was a really tough play for Witherspoon. I would have been very impressed if she got that over the net inbounds. And the Saints are the first to reach 20. They're just 5 points away from taking the first set. So Sheedy on the serve. This one shot out of bounds. Segutaraga had it. Just shot it a little too left from her angle. And the Saints are in business here, looking like they should be able to take this first set, barring a massive run from the Jaguars. Shot by Witherspoon, deflected by Colby. Stemkowski on the finish. Nice play there. That was Mara Zenner on the defense. Sheedy setting up Fitzpatrick. Deflects. Fitzpatrick does it again. Deflects off the hands of Zenner and out of bounds. You see Claire Sheedy hyping up Amelia Fitzpatrick, and deservingly so. She has been excellent so far. Sheedy, it deflects off of Rodriguez. My goodness, Claire Sheedy. She is putting some mustard on her serve so far. You can see the Jaguars' defense is not sure how to play those serves. Serve from Sheedy, powerful. This time they let it go. A wise decision. Looks like Witherspoon and Levines, that's Abigail Levines, on the back line for the Jaguars. So they're not done yet here in the first set. 23-15, Flagler out in front. Riley Harris on the serve for the Jags. Played by Bloom. Here's Sheedy. Sets up Fitzpatrick. Dug out nicely by Harris. It doesn't matter. Amelia Fitzpatrick does it again. So here we go. It's set point. Cassidy Bloom on the serve. Bloom serve. Played by Harris. They're sending it over for Levines, and it's deflected off Claire Sheedy's hands. And the Jaguars will continue this first set. Segutaraga all the way from South Jordan, Utah. Boy, a lot of geographical diversity here on the Augusta team. We love to see that. So let's see what Jada has in store for us here. Sends it right to Bassler. Sheedy setting it up for Berglund, deflected. Well played by Sheedy. They're setting up Berglund again. It's deflected up front there. That was a joint effort of Madeline Eden and Maren Freeland. Eden 6'2", Freeland 6'2". Boy, only Molly Boyd can really stack up against them for the Saints. That's going to be a huge advantage as this game goes on. And Fitzpatrick, who else sending the first set for the Saints? Folks, it may be the Amelia Fitzpatrick game. She just went off in the first set to win it for the Saints. But we have plenty more volleyball in store for us, so we will take a break as the Saints take the first set. Before we take a break, I want to thank Vested Metals for all the great work that they're doing. How about Flagler Hospital of St. Augustine? Hey, check them out if you ever need hospital needs. And then finally, Salt Life Food Shack. Hey, go there, eat, play hard, and of course, be salty. Hey, we'll be back in 2.5 minutes, folks, for the second set. Don't go anywhere. All right, out of the timeout, fans. If you're just joining us, Flagler took the first set in convincing fashion, 25-17. We're just getting set for set number 2, no pun intended. Before we start, set 2 is brought to you by Holmes and Brockle. Make space for more with Holmes and Brockle. Hey, on the first set for the Saints, it was the Amelia Fitzpatrick show in St. Augustine. Boy, did she put on a performance. We saw contributions from Berglund, Boyd, the usual suspect, Sheedy, but whenever it felt like the Jags were starting to come back, Amelia Fitzpatrick stepped up in a big way. And I think they liked the mismatch over there on the right side with Fitzpatrick, avoiding the tag team of Freeland and Eden. Like we said, two of the taller players here in the Peach Belt, and they are formidable on the front line. So it'll be the Saints on the first serve. Claire Sheedy will have the honors. Here is Sheedy, powerful serve. And the Jags are starting to get in tune with what Claire Sheedy was doing. She was firing at them earlier. The Jaguars had no idea how to play them, and then you saw it late in the first set. They started to adjust. Just let it go if Sheedy's going to hit it that hard. Rodriguez serve, played nicely by Berglund. Sheedy setting up Fitzpatrick. Brilliant play there by Janvier Buggs. And the shot there from Abigail Levines goes right into the net. And we're all knotted up at 1 apiece. So it's Cassidy Bloom on the serve. Cassidy Bloom, last year, we have to shout her out for this. She was a PBC Presidential Honor Roll Silver Scholar and a D2 ADA Award recipient. So Cassidy Bloom, excellent on the court, even better in the classroom. That last point went to Augusta, so they take an early lead here in set number 2. Checking in for the Jags was Mara Zenner. If you look at the stat sheet, Zenner doesn't have the numbers that, say, a Krushko or a Freeland has offensively, but she has looked excellent for them, just doing it all, doing what she's asked to do. And look at that. Great feed, but well played by Cassidy Bloom. Fitzpatrick's shot was played nicely, and that time Sheedy deflects it out of bounds. And this is what we were expecting from the Augusta Jaguars. A lot of power up front. Coach Quarles making some nice adjustments out of the timeout between sets. Sheedy setting up Berglund. Berglund got up high there, my goodness. Her parents should have named her Frog with the way she jumps, my goodness. So Zenner serve. Oh, they gave that point to the Jags. I was so focused on the jump from Jordan Berglund, I must have missed the call there. And that's a huge blow. Huge difference between 4-1 and 3-2, and then the Jags took the point after. So now we're looking at 5-1 here early in the second set. Sheedy setting up Berglund. This one deflected. Well played there by Levines. Sheedy setting up Bloom. Well played, dug out. This has been a crazy point here. This time, Krushko fires it right to Cassidy Bloom. Berglund again. What a shot from Jordan Berglund. Perfectly placed in the corner on the far side. And that's what Jordan Berglund does. Whenever you need a point, she will be there to stop the bleeding. Now 5-2, Flagler trails. So it's Lexi Bassler. Played by Rodriguez. Zenner setting it up for Segutaraga. That time blocked by Molly Boyd. Unfortunately for the Saints, it goes out of bounds. The Jaguars lead back up to 4. So Riley Harris on the serve for Augusta. That one, did it go out of bounds? They're going to say it did. That was a very close call. From our vantage point, looks like it was out of bounds. Of course, our wonderful officials have the best view in the house. And it's now 7-2. Harris serve. Oh, misplayed by Bloom off the ceiling. Lexi Bassler was ready for it. And that time it was Sophia Krushko on the finish. Yeah, Coach Lopez with a well-timed timeout there. He's going to have a word with Berglund in particular, talking to his leader. And we will take a break. We'll be back in about a minute before we go. I want to thank Sonny's Barbecue. Hey, big fan of Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68. Is that 1868, 1968? Whatever the case, they know what they're doing when it comes to barbecue. And finally, Evans Automotive and Tire Center. Hey, for all your automotive and tire needs, call 904-819-6599. We'll be back in 30 seconds, folks. Don't go anywhere. All right, out of the timeout here, we're being serenaded by the lovely voice of my good friend Kanye West. The Dick and Kathy Keller reserve seating section is getting crazy over there. And here is Riley Harris once again on the serve. Sheedy setting up Boyd. Well played there. Helping out was Fitzpatrick. Berglund. Fitzpatrick shot blocked. Boy, Augusta has really shorn up things defensively. They look stout. Fitzpatrick's shot, wow. A lot of power behind that one. Molly Boyd deflected off of Harris. Free ball over the net. And play will continue. Molly Boyd with the finish. Coming out of the timeout, the Saints knew they needed to get something. Being down 5, much better than being down by 7. And Molly Boyd, the time was right for her. So here is Fitzpatrick. I'm not sure what the call was there. They're going to say some sort of violation. It was the official on the far side. He knew it immediately. I'm going to blindly trust him no matter what. Fitzpatrick again. This time it's played. It's Rodriguez over to Zenner. Krushko, it's blocked, rattles around the net. Levine's shot falling backward. Rodriguez to Levine's, and that one's out of bounds, and the Saints have rattled off 3 straight out of the time. Yeah, we're getting mixed signals. They're actually saying that point was to the Jaguars. I'm a bit confused there, as always, blindly deferring to the officials, but nonetheless, that's a huge blow to the Saints. Zenner setting it up. That time, Eden able to get it over. Berglund blocked, but dug out brilliantly by Sheedy. Berglund again, she is getting blocked every time. And another point to the Jaguars. So you can see what the game plan is. Let Molly Boyd do her job up front. She's going to get hers. Let Fitzpatrick beat you. But at all costs, stop Jordan Berglund up front. And that's what they're doing, whether it's Freeland, Eden. We've seen a little bit of Segutaraga. Fitzpatrick this time out of bounds on the far side. The smart coaching of Coach Quarles forcing the Saints to adjust. She knows who the Saints want to go to. It's Jordan Berglund, and they are doing their best to take her away. This time, Molly Boyd. Like we said, Boyd's going to get hers. And she once again helps stop the bleeding for the Saints as Ella Wicker checks in for Berglund. So here is Wicker. Oh, just over the line. Rodriguez saw it immediately. Rodriguez leads the team in digs. Makes sense, her being the libero, but all the way up to 258 coming into play here. That leads all players in this match. Here's Janvier Bugs. Bassler, Sheedy, Boyd blocked up front, and Madeline Eden lets the crowd hear it after that one. All business is Madeline Eden. And the Jaguars lead up to 13-5 here midway through the second set. Sheedy setting it up for Bloom. What a shot from Cassidy Bloom! Not flashy, but that is one of the more impressive points you will ever see. My goodness, Cassidy Bloom cross court right in the front corner. And checking in, here's Lainey Mack. First time we've said her name today. Lainey Mack, a fan favorite here. And hey, a little spark plug there as Bloom helps the Saints to another point. So the first set was the Amelia Fitzpatrick show. This second set, it's been Molly Boyd and Cassidy Bloom for the Saints. Here's Mack once again. Dug out nicely there by Krushko. Or excuse me, it was Levines, and on the finish, Marin Freeland. So it's Abigail Levines on the serve. Into the net. That's a huge break for the Saints. It's back to a 6-point deficit. Boy, it is prime time for a Claire Sheedy ace here. What a shot there. That time it was Lane Witherspoon, the middle hitter for the Jags. The Jaguars 60% of the way there, up to 15. They lead 15-8 here in the second. Rodriguez, miscommunication between Wicker and Bassler. You saw it looked like Bassler was, you thought Wicker was going to get it. She moved away at the last second. Looks like Bassler called her off. And Rodriguez once again on the serve. Sheedy setting it up for Bloom. Softly in between the entire defense. Cassidy Bloom. And both teams making some well-timed adjustments. You saw Berglund and Boyd and Bloom trying to fire it right through the defense of the Jags. Cassidy Bloom says, I'll just take a little bit off and place it in between them. And it's boded very well for the Saints as Marin Freeland having her way on the front lines for Augusta. So checking back in, Mara Zenner for the Jags. Here's Sheedy. Setting up Fitzpatrick, deflects it off Rodriguez. What a play as Witherspoon just sends it over. This time Stemkowski dug out by Rodriguez. Segutaraga gets it over. My goodness. Berglund. This Augusta defense, boy, is it impressive. Stemkowski finishes. You felt like Augusta was going to get that point the whole time. Rodriguez's defense was exceptional. But Colby Stemkowski with a phenomenal finish there earns that point for the Saints. Bassler fires it into the net. And just when the Saints are starting to get going, something like that happens, or you see Marin Freeland come in and just dominate up front. It's been a tale of two sets here in St. Augustine. Harris on the serve. Sheedy setting up Boyd, deflects, played easily by Harris. Krushko fires it into the waiting arms of Claire Sheedy. Some great hustle there by Cassidy Bloom. Not enough, though. And Augusta's lead swells up to 9. And Coach Lopez will take his second timeout of the set. It's Jaguars 19, Saints 10. And before we go to break, hey fans, you know my personal favorite, Jersey Mike's. Hey, stop into Jersey Mike's after the game. You know I always do. You have to order a number 7 or whatever tickles your fancy, but make sure, as always, get it Mike's way. We'll be back in about 30 seconds, folks. All right, fans, we're back out of the timeout here. If you're just joining us, the Saints took the first set in commanding fashion. It has been an entirely different story here in the second set. Augusta up 19-10, and they have been dominant this entire set. Played by Bloom. Here's Sheedy. And that shot from Molly Boyd just out of bounds, read perfectly by Julia Rodriguez. The serve from Harris, played by Berglund. Sheedy setting it up for Fitzpatrick, softly sends it over. Rodriguez was ready for it. Segutaraga, what a shot there, fitting it between the entire Saints defense. And again, a dominant second set from the Jags. They're up 21-10. Sheedy. Fitzpatrick off the head of Abigail Levines. Levine's in a good position, just deflected off the left side of her head and out of bounds. Hey, the Saints will take it. And it will be Fitzpatrick on the serve. And they're going to say violation. Molly Boyd was up front there. And back-to-back points for the Saints. Hey, never know. Never know. 11-point deficits, tough to overcome, but hey, this announcer has seen crazier things. Some played over. Sheedy setting up Boyd, blocked. Well played up front. It was a joint effort between Levines and Segutaraga. The lead is back to 10. The magic number now 3 for Augusta. Bloom to Berglund. Berglund, oh, that one rattles around the ceiling. And they're going to say it's a point for the Saints. Flagler hanging around. Like I said, not an insurmountable deficit, but it would be pretty shocking if they were to come back and win this second set. Oh, and a miscommunication there on the far side. That was Mara Zenner and Sophia Krushko. Luckily for the Jags, the lead is still 8. Berglund just gets under it a little too much, fires it out of bounds, and it's now a 9-point lead for the Jags. We'll see if they can finish off this set. It'll be Janvier Buggs, the team leader in aces. Something to watch as this game develops. Fitzpatrick sending it back in. It'll be Bassler just sending it over. Buggs setting it up for Levines. Rodriguez always in the right place. Here's Bloom. Buggs setting it up. And a lot of back and forth points here. It has been an entertaining match to watch. Powerful from Freeland, played nicely by Fitzpatrick. This time Cassidy Bloom dug out. That time it was Riley Harris. And the finish from Abigail Levines right into the corner on the near side. Hey, that's about as competitive a point as you will see, but the finish was worth it. And now it's set point. The Jags looking to tie up the match overall at 1 apiece. Sheedy setting up Bloom. And it deflects off the hands of Madeline Eden. She knew it immediately. And the Saints say, oh, we're going to make you wait a little bit longer. So the return of the Mac, Laney Mac that is, on the serve. And that time, Stemkowski and Sheedy, a little miscommunication. And that's how this second set will end. So 25-15 to the Jags. It's tied up at 1 apiece. We'll be back, but don't go anywhere. First, a word from some of our sponsors.
How do you make history? In St. Augustine, Florida, Flagler College stands as a beacon where the lion-hearted can forge new paths. Here, your courage finds its name, and ambition finds its home. Inspired by the visionary Henry Flagler, you don't just learn, you create, innovate, and find where you truly belong. So how do you make history? It starts with you, right here. Flagler College, where history begins.
This one rattles around out of bounds, and the Saints will take the first point here in the fourth set. Yeah, the Saints got out to an early lead in the first and the third. It was Augusta in the second. It feels like whoever has started off hot has been the one to dominate the set. What a shot from Madeline Eden. Hey, even in the sets that have been dominated by the Saints, I cannot say enough about the job Madeline Eden has done up front. And that's a big point. Make sure it gets knotted up at one apiece. Give your girls a chance to go on a run. Sheedy setting up Berglund. It deflects. Klein makes a play. Rattles around, and it's free-balled over by Riley Harris. Harris setting up. Oh, and it's just out of bounds. The shot from Lane Witherspoon. And although we're still early in the set, that's a big point. You want to get on a run early and often. That's been the story of the game for both sides. Here's Fitzpatrick. Bugs setting up Klein. It deflects. Fitzpatrick with a dig. Brilliant play there. Oh, and Sheedy just deflects off her hand. Berglund was able to get up high there, almost had it, but it was deflected by the front lines of the Jaguars. We mentioned it. Other than Molly Boyd, the Jags have the vertical advantage. What I mean, they have many more players over 6 foot, whether it's Freeland, Krushko, Segutaraga, and that time Mara Zenner's serve goes out of bounds on the far side, so an easy point for the Saints. But it's been very impressive the way the Saints have adjusted. Like we said, early on, Augusta was trying to take away Jordan Berglund. So what do? Feed Amelia Fitzpatrick, let Molly Boyd do her thing, and it has boded very well for the Saints. What a shot there! That time it was Witherspoon off the assist from Zenner. Kind of a broken play. It didn't matter. Witherspoon just figured, I'll place it in the back right corner. Let's see if they can get to it. And they could not. Just over Lexi Bassler's head. So a much different story in this set than the others. It's been back and forth to start, trading points. Berglund, Sheedy. Boyd's shot is blocked. And they're going to say that one's a violation. The point will go to the Jags. And that's a big one, getting 2 in a row. No one's been able to do so here in the fourth set. Julia Rodriguez took off the libero uniform and gave it to Riley Harris, so she's in the standard navy blue for Augusta. Sheedy setting up Bloom. Oh, Bloom, she landed one of those earlier, the cross-court soft shot. That one was close. It looks like it had a chance, but just barely about 6 inches over the line. That's 3 straight points for the Jags. They now lead 5-3. Rodriguez just gets it over, dug out nicely by Bassler. Here's Harris setting up Krushko. Krushko so powerful, it deflects off of Molly Boyd. And it's been a game of runs, and Augusta is on a 4-point run. Again, it's Rodriguez. It deflects off the net, somehow got over. And it just ended up being a free shot for Krushko. She could have put it anywhere, and I think that would have been a point. Tough break there for the Saints. Berglund moves out of the way at the last second. Job well done to stop the bleeding there, and it's back to a 3-point game. Ella Wicker checking in for the first time in the fourth set. She's played some valuable minutes here. Wicker First shot played by Rodriguez. Sugutaraga's shot dug out by Fitzpatrick off the ceiling. And Sheedy's momentum was taking her one way, and the ball deflection, unfortunately for her, would have taken her the other way. So that's a nice point for the Jaguars. Jada Sugutaraga, who has been a force to be reckoned with throughout this match, she's on the serve. Berglund and Sheedy deflected. Easy play there for Zenner. They're setting up Krushko again. Deflected nicely by Bassler. Fitzpatrick will just send it on over. Madeline Eden played well by Berglund. Madeline Klein with a great defensive play, and Sophia Krushko with the finish. Off the hands of Amelia Fitzpatrick and out of bounds. And it's already 9-4 Jaguars. They've rattled off 7 of the last 8 points. Well played by Sheedy there. That's a huge point to get it back to a 4-point differential. Taking a little pause in the action here. Coach Lopez making sure Cassidy Bloom's all right. She says she's good to go. That would be a huge loss for the Saints. She has been outstanding, not only in this match, throughout the entire season. Krushko again. Sophia Krushko is catching fire. Back to a 5-point set. It's now 10-5 Augusta. John V.A. Buggs on the serve. This one's played by Cassidy Bloom. Sheedy, odd play there from Stemkowski. She jumped a little early, still almost landed it in the near side corner. Unfortunately, just out of bounds. And the lead is up to 6. This one barely gets over. Boy, that is a phenomenal serve from Buggs. Fitzpatrick thought she landed it. They're going to say it was out of bounds. Looks like it was very close. And Coach Lopez will call a timeout, a wise decision as his team is down 7. Hey, we'll take a break as well. Before we do, let's thank Carmelo's Pizzeria. Hey, pizza, deli, subs. What more could you ask for? Only at Carmelo's. We'll be back in a second, folks. Don't go anywhere. The score 12-5. Augusta on top here in the 4th. All right, just getting back out of the timeout here. You hear the wonderful voice of Travis Kelsey's girlfriend through the loudspeaker. It's 12-5 Augusta in front in the 4th. Like we've said, every set has been dominated by one side. It was Flagler, then Augusta, then Flagler in the 3rd, and now it's Augusta so far here in the 4th. I got to say, there's something about this right side of the court, at least on our screen, some sort of juju or voodoo magic going on over there. I can't be sure. Either way, here's Jean-Vier Buggs. Oh, misplayed by Bloom. And out of bounds here. That is not what you want coming out of the timeout. For the Saints, checking in for the first time today, the freshman Marley Middlebrooks out of Crawford Mosley High School in Panama City, Florida. She's getting some valuable minutes here as she gets her first dig. Able to save that point for the Saints. Madeline Eden blocked. Colby Stemkowski up front. A huge play for the Saints. Hey, maybe Marley Middlebrook sparks something as she will be on the serve for the first time. Oh, and Middlebrooks, I thought it looked like it was going to go over. That just died out in the air. Tough break for the Saints as their deficit is back to 8. This time dug out by Middlebrooks. Stemkowski with the finish off the hands of Riley Harris. The Saints looking a little more organized coming out of the timeout. You love to see that. There's plenty of time to go on a run. If you can get about 4 points here, make it a 3-point set, sets you up to go on those smaller runs later. Bassler, ooh, that was going out of bounds. Harris, an ill-advised decision to play it, but it works out for them. Fitzpatrick, oh my goodness, what a play by Janvier Buggs. Middlebrooks. Sheedy, oh, Boyd. They're going to say it deflected, so the point goes to the Saints. That is a very important point to get there. Couldn't really tell, if I'm being honest, if that deflected off someone, but judging off the Saints' reaction, they made it pretty clear. So here's Bassler again into the net. It's the second serving error for the Saints so far. So far in this set, that is, and those are points you'd like to have back. On the other side, Augusta has been very, very clean on the serves. Here's Riley Harris. I was going to say, I hope I don't jinx her. Boyd's shot deflected by Jada Segutaraga. Here's Witherspoon out of bounds. Read well by Marley Middlebrooks. Just gets out of the way at the last second. It's back to a 6-point deficit. So, hey, Flagler chipping away ever so slowly. It was 8, now it's 6. And good things happen when Fitzpatrick has the ball. She is on the serve. Buggs setting up Segutaraga. It deflects. Easy play for Middlebrooks. Here's Berglund up in the air. Easy play for the Jags. That one's out of bounds. They're going to say point to the Saints. Maren Freeland with a powerful shot there, just barely out of bounds on the near side. Hey, this broadcaster thought it was going to land in bounds, but fortunately for the Saints, it did not. What a play by Sheedy. Oh. That is a tough call there. They call a violation on Sheedy, much to the chagrin of the Flagler faithful. And that's the type of call that has a big, big impact on the game. Instead of 15-11, it's 16-10. Coach Lopez could not believe it. Not a sight you want to see if you're a Flagler fan. Sophia Krushko checking back into the game. It's Mara Zenner on the serve. The Saints cheering something. It sounds like monkey noises. I don't know why, but hey, do your thing. Here's Krushko. Oh, what a play by Sophia Krushko. These last 2 sets, she has been outstanding. So it'll be Zenner again. The Jags up by 7. Looking to go on another run and put away this 4th set. They're still doing a good job of taking away Jordan Berglund. You're never going to entirely take away Jordan Berglund as the Saints get another point. Well, like I was saying, you're never going to take her away completely, but you can neutralize her in a way if you just focus in on Berglund and make Fitzpatrick beat you. Like I said earlier, Molly Boyd's going to get hers one way or another. But Jordan Berglund, that is the player to stop if you're going against the Saints. Levine's. Zenner, what a shot. Luckily for the Saints, they were ready for it. And on the finish, Marley Middlebrooks getting in on the action here and gets the Saints back to a 5-point deficit. Saints have done a very nice job of hanging around in this one. It looks like it was going to be an insurmountable deficit, but once again, just hanging around. Oh, and the miscommunication between Boyd and Bassler. They both go low at the same time. That point ends up with the Jags as Julia Rodriguez checks back in. The 5'3" Rodriguez puts it at the feet of Berglund. Here's Fitzpatrick. It deflects out of bounds. Another point for Amelia. Man, Amelia Fitzpatrick must have eaten her spinach since the last time I saw her, because she looks stronger and stronger every single match. My goodness. Molly Boyd with a rare serve. Zenner setting it up for Jada Segudaraga. That is a dominant finish up front for Jada. And she's doing a great job of not letting the Saints get any momentum. Even when they get 2 points, it's Segudaraga, it's Freeland, Krushko. Stemkowski there with a brilliant finish. Once again, the Saints just hanging around. You know they need to do something because the Jaguars are eyeing that 20-point number. Here's Claire Sheedy. This one goes over to Krushko. Too easy for Sophia Krushko. Only had to fake out Claire Sheedy on the Flagler defense, and she put it just out of reach. So trading points. Hey, it was the same story for Flagler last set. I think Augusta's all right with that. Just going back and forth, maintaining a 5 or 6 point lead. If you do that, hey, you'll win this set. Here's Bugs. It's Patrick to Sheedy. Here's Berglund. Right into the waiting arms of Riley Harris. Michaela Klein right on the line. That is as good of a finish as you will see. 21-14, the Jags in front. So John B.A. Bugs. Fitzpatrick had to send it over. Stemkowski was not ready for it. And at this rate, it looks like Augusta's going to claim this fourth set. And, yeah, Coach Lopez calling a timeout. He had one more. Why not? And we will take what is likely our final break of this fourth set. Few sponsors, why not? Let's thank some more. We love all of our sponsors equally. How about Hybrid Design, advertising, graphic design, and marketing? Shout out to Hybrid Design. And then finally, St. John's Family Funeral Home and Crematory. We'll be back in a second, folks. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, so we're out of the timeout here late in the fourth set. Hope everyone's enjoying their weekend, and we're enjoying the weekend here in Flagler Gymnasium. If you're just joining us, you're a little bit late, but I'll let it slide. Flagler's up 2-1 in the match overall. However, Augusta up 22-14 here in the fourth set. The magic number is down to 3. And if they're able to hold on, which it looks like they will, we'll be looking at free volleyball, a fifth set. So the serve from Bugs, played by Berglund. Sheedy, Fitzpatrick deflected out of bounds. What else did you expect when you saw Fitzpatrick go up there? So the Saints, hey, 7 more points. That's not the hardest thing in the world to do, but it would be very impressive and unlikely if they're able to come back. Freeland, it's deflected back. Easy play for Klein. Freeland again. Well played by Bassler. Oh, and it deflects backward. We've said it before. You'd think the ceiling gives the Saints some sort of home court advantage. Maybe they're used to it. There is no advantage either way. This ceiling here at Clark Family Court has a mind of its own. Nonetheless, 23-15 here in the fourth set. Michaela Klein on the serve at the feet of Cassidy Bloom. Colby Stemkowski, a nifty finish there, splitting the defense. The Saints just hanging around. They don't want this set to end. Bassler. Bugs setting up Freeland. It is blocked. Bassler will set it up for Sheedy. They're going to Boyd. It's blocked. Well played there by Sheedy to save that possession. My goodness, this is a competitive point. Levine sending it over. Now Sheedy to Bassler. Berglund sends it over. Easy play for Harris. Michaela Klein. What are they going to say? Out of bounds. It'll be a point to the Saints. Boy, a back and forth point there. Whoever won that, it was well deserved from both sides. A lot of very impressive plays. The Saints trimmed the deficit to 6. Bassler, yeah, they read that easily. Shout out to Abigail Levines. Communicating, not talking, communicating with Riley Harris, telling her to get out of the way. And just like that, it is set point here in the fourth. Augusta trying to force a fifth set. Here's Riley Harris, played by Berglund. Sheedy setting up Fitzpatrick, out of bounds. And Augusta takes set number 4, 25-17. And that will force a fifth set. Boy, a back and forth match. It has been exciting start to finish between these two teams. We'll take another timeout here before the fifth set. First, we want to thank Academy Bus. We know the way. Only Academy Bus. Boy, I hope they can show me the way. And finally, how about 123 Burger House, a personal favorite of yours truly, grillin' and chillin', only at 123 Burger House. Don't go anywhere, folks. The fifth set coming up next. All right, fans. We are getting set for the fifth set between Augusta and Flagler. Boy, this has been a fun one. Hey, the fifth set, free volleyball. It's brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Hey, I will tell you, it's not free unless you're a rewards member. You might have some free points. But as always, eat more chicken. Check out Chick-fil-A. Hey, if you've been with us the whole time, you've seen a back-and-forth match. Each set has been won by at least 8 points. 25-17 has been the closest set. Augusta seems to have the advantage. They're on the right side of the court. That's been where the winners have sat every single set. We'll see if Flagler can change that. We have to shout out the player of the game. We've said it all along. The player of the game for the Saints, Amelia Fitzpatrick, putting on a performance of a lifetime today. They would not be in the position they're in without her. The first serve, Sheedy to Boyd. Well played there. That was Julia Rodriguez. And the block, Eden setting up Klein. Klein sends it right at the feet of Cassidy Bloom. And that's how this fifth set will start. If you're new to Peach Belt Conference volleyball, this fifth set only up to 15 points. So it's going to be a little shorter than the other ones. They will switch sides midway through, so that may bode well for the Saints. Berglund shot dug out nicely by Rodriguez. Here's Klein again, easy play for Jordan. Fitzpatrick, another play by Rodriguez. Oh, and a brilliant finish from Madeline Eden. Eden has been phenomenal all day. I would say she's my player of the game for Augusta, but you can shout out a lot of players. Rodriguez, Eden, Segutaraga, Freeland, and Krushko. I mean, they have so many different players who can kill you. And that time, Molly Boyd with the block. Molly Boyd with a huge play there. Couldn't go down 3-0. You just can't to start off the fifth set. It's been a game of runs for both teams. And here is Fitzpatrick on the serve. Rodriguez, Bugs, Freeland. That one's going to go out of bounds. Another point for the Saints. It looks like Bloom was letting it go all the way. It looks like she questioned herself initially, but she made the right call. We're all knotted up at 2. Amelia Fitzpatrick. Played by Rodriguez. Bugs to Eden. Dug out by Amelia. Here's Berglund. Jordan Berglund with the kill. Caps off 3 straight Saints points. And now they are in front for the first time in this fifth set. It's now 3-2 with Fitzpatrick still on the serve. Bugs setting up Klein. That one rattles around. Nice play by Fitzpatrick. Berglund again, deflected. Oh, and Sheedy made the play with her face. It looks like she got hit in the eye. She'll be all right, but folks, that never feels good. They're going to make sure she's all right. As always, Claire Sheedy, all smiles. She's all right. We're happy to see that. But nonetheless, we're all tied up at 3 apiece. And it'll be Michaela Klein on the serve for the Jags. Klein playing some valuable minutes late. Berglund. Klein, a diving play. Almost got to it. Jordan Berglund took some off of that. Couldn't have placed it any better. It was going to be in bounds. Klein had to make a play. Unfortunately for her, just deflected it out of bounds. And I like this call from Coach Lopez. Get Lainey Mack in there. Lainey Mack looks like she has some basketball in her future. In her past. As she goes behind the back, spins it on her finger. It's like a globetrotter out there. Bugs setting up Eden. Dug out nicely by Lainey Mack. Bugs setting it up. Bassler, what a play. Jumping high in the air. Oh, and violation nonetheless. Fitzpatrick's shot was going to go out of bounds anyway. And we're all square, 4 apiece. So Riley Harris on the serve. She sends it over, it's Bassler. Sheedy. Molly Boyd, it deflects, out of bounds! Molly Boyd with another point here in the 5th set. And we are going back and forth, neither team letting the other go on a run. I have to say, the Jaguars' defense is incredible. The Saints have had to earn every single point throughout this match. Ella Wicker on the serve. Bugs setting it up for Jada Segutaraga. Oh my goodness, a free ball over by Jordan Berglund. Cassidy Bloom digs it out. Here's Freeland, softly sends it over, just stays in bounds on the far side. Boy, Marin Freeland is so much fun to watch. Here are the fans from both sides. It's getting tense here in Flagler Gymnasium. It's a long drive home for Augusta. If they don't win this one, they can party on the bus if they are able to pull it out. Cassidy Bloom, dug out nicely that time. It was Zenner. Bloom again. Deflected. Played by Klein. Now Krushko. Claire Sheedy, played by Klein. Boy, they're going back and forth again. Levines, played by Berglund. And that time it's Krushko and Segutaraga up front. Jordan Berglund wanted the violation there. She can't believe it. The officials say, nope, that was a clean play by the Jaguars. This will be Mara Zenner again. 6-5 Jaguars here in the 5th set. Berglund sends it high in the air. They're setting up Fitzpatrick. Easily played by Zenner. There's Klein. Right into the waiting arms of Fitzpatrick. Stemkowski, they're going to say it was inbounds. I don't know how you move your head that fast to determine if that's inbounds. Nonetheless, a powerful finish from Colby Stemkowski. You wouldn't know it by looking at her. She always seems calm, cool, and collected. And here's Sheedy. Zenner setting it up for Segutaraga. Sheedy able to deflect it over are the Saints. This time Krushko's shot deflected. Sheedy sets up Berglund. Point for the Saints. Berglund off the assist from Claire Sheedy. Jordan couldn't have placed that one any better. And the Saints regain the lead. It's now 7-6. Sheedy serve. Dug out by Harris. Krushko again, played by Berglund. They're setting up Fitzpatrick. Deflected out of bounds by Harris. She knew it. It was going out of bounds, but Harris looking to make a play. Why not? It's what you're coached to do, and she deflects it out of bounds. And the Saints, fortunately for them, have a 2-point lead as we switch sides. We'll stay with you. It's always so impressive how fast these two squads are able to switch benches, switch sides of the court. The Saints 7 points away from a victory. The Jags 9. It's anyone's match despite the Saints' 2-point lead here in the 5th. Claire Sheedy on the serve. And that one, Witherspoon hits it right in front of the net. That is a huge point for the Saints. It's now a 9-6 lead. The Saints faithful really getting into this one now. This one set up front. It's Zenner setting up Segutaraga. Brilliantly read by Lexi Bassler. They set up Berglund, and Jordan Berglund off the assist from Cassidy Bloom. Coach Quarles calls timeout. And it's been the Amelia Fitzpatrick show all day, but this fifth set belongs to Jordan Berglund. Fans, we're going to stay with you. What else can we say about this match? It's been back and forth. If the earlier sets are any indication, the Jags are not out of this. Even though each set has been dominated by one side, the Jaguars have responded to any adversity thrown their way. And you have to say, like we said earlier, the Saints have had to earn every single point. And that's a credit to the Jaguars' defense up front. Segutaraga, Krushko, Freeland, they are exceptional. Oh, and of course I leave out Madeline Eden, who has been just outstanding today. Hey, these two teams will face off next weekend, next Friday. That'll be at Augusta. So, hey, quick turnaround. Whoever wins has to be ready for another battle between these two sides. Sheedy once again on the serve, played by Klein. Zenner setting up Segutaraga. It's blocked. Sheedy setting up Berglund again. This time hits it off the outside of her hand and out of bounds. Great timeout from Coach Quarles. We said it earlier, in her 16th year, she is a seasoned veteran of Peach Belt Conference volleyball. And it's Julia Rodriguez on the serve. Pounding the ball into the court. Rodriguez serve, played by Berglund. Oh, Sheedy makes a nice play to simply save the point. They're setting up Krushko right at the feet of Claire Sheedy. And just like that, 2 straight points out of the timeout for the Jaguars. Coach Lopez is going to call one of his own. A smart decision there. Hey, and this time we're going to take a break. But before we let you go, I'm going to thank a few more sponsors. Birchall & Company, of course. How about KB Home? If you're in the market for a new home from the low 400,000s, check out Sable Estates in St. Augustine, only by KB Home. Like I said, we'll be back in a second, folks. Don't go anywhere. This match is wrapping up soon. So out of the timeout here, it's 10-8 here in the fifth set. The Saints of Flagler out in front. Jaguars had 2 straight points before Coach Lopez calls his first timeout. Again, it's Julia Rodriguez on the serve. Fires that one to Cassidy Bloom. Sheedy sets up Fitzpatrick. It's blocked. Violation. They're going to say point to the Saints. Their magic number is now down to 4. Bloom on the serve. Keeps it on the near side. Zenner setting up Krushko. Well played there by Berglund. Klein just has to send it over. Sheedy sets up Berglund. Deflected out of bounds. Another point to the Saints. And the lead is back up to 4. Both teams with some very wise timeouts. And both have come out of them in the fifth set with 2 straight points. You got to think Coach Quarles still has another one. She'll probably think about it if the Saints get another point. Klein this time dug out well by Sheedy. They're setting up Fitzpatrick. Softly sends it over. What a play by the Jaguars defense to save that point. And they're going to say no deflection. Stemkowski sent it out of bounds. Boy, hats off to the Jaguars defense there. Looks like it was Jada Segutaraga who got low to save that point. I've said it all day, the differences between these scores, but 13-8 versus 12-9 is a massive difference. That's a play we'll look back on if the Jaguars end up winning it. However, Amelia Fitzpatrick with a big point. An answer for the Saints. It's now 13-9. Lexi Bassler on the serve. Fires one to Michaela Klein. They're setting up Eden, deflected nicely by Boyd. They're setting up Berglund, who softly sends it over. Well played by Mara Renner. Krushko dug out by Sheedy. Molly Boyd hits it. It's a flex out of bounds. And the Saints earn the point. It's now 14-9. Match point in St. Augustine. So it's Lexi Bassler, match point here. Klein hits it sideways. She'll try and finish it over. What are they going to say? They give it to the Jags. That looked like it was in. Looks like it was just on the line. From our vantage point, though, that could have gone either way. I think we would have had some upset Jaguars fans if the call was reversed. So Janvier Buggs on the serve. The Saints just need one. The Jags need a run here. Berglund, that one's kicked by Bassler into the net. Boyd and Berglund almost saved it. The Saints a little sloppy on that one. You got to tighten things up. If the Jaguars get any momentum, this could be a scary finish. Buggs to Berglund. Sheedy setting it up for Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick ends it! The exclamation point from Amelia Fitzpatrick. The match of her life. It was Fitzpatrick's start to finish. And she caps it with her final kill of the day to make it 15-11 in the fifth set, 3-2. The Saints knock off the Augusta Jaguars. What a performance by the Flagler Saints. Like we said, you come in 6-9 versus an 11-3 conference opponent. That is a huge win for the Saints as they improved to 7-9 on the year. For Augusta, now 11-4 on the season, but they fall to 1-2 in the conference. As Flagler will now leapfrog them in conference play. They're now 3-2 in Peach Belt play. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. What a match all around from both sides. Shout out to Augusta and, of course, your Flagler Saints. For all of us here at Flagler, I'm Kyle McCarthy. Until next time, we say so long.